Hi, I'm Paul Sugarman, founder of the Instant Shakespeare Company, which has been putting on annual readings of all of Shakespeare's plays for the last 20 years. And now, in the new environment, we've been doing readings on Zoom. And while we look forward to getting back to doing them in person, here are just some tips to have a good Zoom reading. One of the things is that when you're on Zoom now, you're your own cameraman and sound editor as well. So you want to get someplace where you can have reasonably good light. You want to avoid having light behind you, because when you have light behind you, a lot of times it's actually not that bad for this one, but oftentimes when you have light behind you, it'll pick up that light and you won't be able to see yourself as well. So try and do it someplace where you have some light in front of you, preferably not direct, and from a couple of sources if possible, like bouncing a light off the ceiling is often quite useful. And then also just to make sure that you don't have distracting sounds or anything that's going to come up to interfere with you while you're on. I mean, I think I'm just doing this from my office here, but it's better to have a kind of a neutral background so that you're the focus, but also to sort of accept the fact that this is your playing space now. So when you do it, you can be as full as you want, but people are only going to see this much of you, you know? So you want to do it. And you also want to get to a proportion where you're not so far away that you just sort of disappear into the picture. It's a small picture, and if there's multiple ones, there are going to be a lot of them there. So you want to be pretty close. I mean, maybe sometimes this, as you see, gets to be too much and rather frightening except for effect. Even this, for me, I think, yeah, this is about comfortable, and sort of to be in this area, and also just to look in, because you can see yourself and you'll see what other people are seeing. And so it's a good idea when you're not speaking for a while to mute yourself. And the way we do our readings is you mute yourself and stop your video when you're not in the scene, so that you're not seen in gallery view. And so that's something that you need to get comfortable with. Now, in terms of being able to read on the same device as you're doing the reading, it's really more a question of just being able to resize the various applications and have two applications running at once. So I'm just going to try and share my screen here, which doesn't really show you the picture exactly, because it's showing sort of the background, and it's minimized the zoom window already when I want to actually be the one to minimize it. Because what I've got here open here is preview to read the PDF of the text. This is for Henry IV, Part 2. And so you have this set up, and then what you can do is you can like resize it. You can put it on the side. You can move it to another side. You can, I mean, and the idea is that you then sort of move the your other screen so that you can have both of them, and so you can go back and forth. And it's also a good thing to remember that if you do sort of go out of your Zoom program, if your light is still on, your camera is still on, and your mic is probably still on, and people can still see you and hear you, and it just is an issue of finding, getting back into it so that you can make any changes you need to. And but really what this is about is the idea that you can move these boxes around. This one, you can resize these boxes so that you can have like your Zoom meeting on one side of the screen and your text on the other, and do that. My sort of personal preference, it takes a little bit more scrolling, is that I like to put my my text on top and my Zoom underneath, with the thoughts that as I'm reading it, to noise abroad that Harry Monmouth under the wrath of noble Hotspur, that it's keeping my eyes closer to that, because that's what you want to do, because your eyes there are who you're playing with, is your shared thing. And so that's basically it. I know there's a lot of little technical details. If anybody wants to know more or needs more help on this, I'm happy to set up a time to go over it with you. Email me at instantshakespeare@gmail.com. Thank you.